everybody, SMA Watts here, and we are about to continue our Let's Play of the Draenei Paladin in World of Warcraft. When we last left off, we had met the Paladin pals here, as well as Fiona, whose caravan we happen to be currently occupying. That troll monk looks interesting. Now we're going to go ahead and do one of the quest lines that I happen to feel to be one of the draws of the Eastern Plaguelands, and that is the Battle for Darrowshire and Little Pamela Redpath. Starts with Carl and Redpath here. The battle for Darrowshire still haunts me, Draenei. I wake up in cold sweats, convinced that I'm still there, that it's happening all over again. I've coped with the loss of my comrades, but the loss of my family members is still cripplingly painful. One of my kin lost during the attack was my young niece Pamela. If you're brave enough to enter Darrowshire, will you search for any sign of Pammy? Darrowshire's ruins are south of here.
See you later.
I will most certainly go search for any hint of your deceased niece's spirit. Where is Spots? Come on, Spots. You are a slacker and you are a scaredy giraffe. Terrified of his own shadow. Alright. Alright, little Pamela. Hello, I'm Pamela. What's your name? I am Sula. I never feel warm anymore. My Auntie Merlin told me to stay here in the house because my father had to go and fight. My father's the bravest man in the whole world, but I've been here for a long time and he hasn't come for me. Sometimes bad people come and whisper to me and I want my dad to make them go away, but he's not here. And sometimes when it gets dark and I want to play with my doll, but I can't because I left it in town. Will you find my dolly for me? I'm not supposed to tell you this. My daddy always kept two swords. One for fighting men, and one for hunting the animals. I wasn't supposed to touch his swords, but I knew where he hid them. One day he told my mommy that he was going to fight a lone hunter in the hills to the east, but he brought his animal sword with him. When he came back, he didn't have his sword with him. When my daddy comes back, he'll be so happy if I give him his animal sword. Will you go find it? Certainly, little Pamela. Alright, Spots. You're in charge of hunting down the sword. Got it? Joseph Redpath. The nightmare is over. Oh wait, that's... Why are you there? We haven't done that quest yet. Looking for, I think it's a wolf. It is certainly not a ghost deer. Oh, there it is. The Lone Hunter. I'll come back in a second. Maybe you'll feel more up to fighting, Ghost Wolf. Did they just die? Like a horrible sound, too. I think I've got to kill... do I have to kill things to get the doll? No, I think just bits of it are lying around. Oh. At least none of her dolls, like, scattered to the winds anymore. Oh, I need the head still. All right. One reassembled doll, which apparently has a gnomish head. Let's go see a man about a dead wolf. I'm way off where it needs to be. It's over here somewhere. That's weird that it doesn't get stunned. Huh. I wonder if you tame it as a hunter, if it has the sword in it still. Eh. Yeah, it makes some weird sounds too. Alright, good job, Spots. You found the sword. Did you find my doll? You found it! You found my doll! Oh, thank you. Hooray, my doll. You keep the bad people away, won't you? Yes. Daddy loved his animal sword. He seemed sad when he didn't have it anymore. That's my daddy's sword. How did you find it? Did you find the bad hunter? I'm going to play with my doll, but I don't want to play with Daddy's sword after all. You'd better keep it. Even better, you can give it to my Uncle Carlin. I know where he... I don't know... I'm not sure where he is, but sometimes I hear him crying. It sounds like he's nearby to the north. I hope he's not crying for me. Salah, will you find my uncle and tell him I'm all right? If you find him, say I'm waiting for him. And I want to hear the story he used to tell. The one about the rabbit and the berry jam. That story's so funny. Got the plate belt. It's a nice upgrade. It'll also be interesting when Warlords removes... Functionally, they're just kind of making, for plate and for everything but cloth, like, the main stats interchangeable, since it'll have both intelligence and blah, agility or strength. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if that'll affect the heirloom gear. That'll be kind of cool.
What can I do for you?
Any news of my Pammy? You've seen Pamela? She's alive? She's dead. No. Oh, Pamela, why does your spirit still suffer in this world? Why are you perished, while fortune keeps me alive? In an instant I would switch places with you and wander the dead of Darrowshire, a ghost and alone. But I cannot change fate. Thank you, Salah. Now my duty to revenge, burns hot as ever. Say, what is that sword you have there? That sword belongs to Joseph Redpath, Pamela's father. You probably already knew that. I wish Joseph could again be with his daughter. But it cannot be so. His soul became twisted by the scourge. He became a monster. Pamela's fate is sealed, but perhaps we can change Joseph's fate. A strange gnome arrived at this tower not long ago. Her name is Chromie. Take that sword to her. I have a feeling she'll be able to help us.
Be careful.
Well, there is something timely about your visit. You're not from the future, are you? What is this? A war sword? A butter knife? I'm useless when it comes to blades. Let me see. Ah, this sword once in the hands of a great man. But there is much tragedy in that man's past. Are you here to help him? It's far too late for him now, but perhaps we can help him in the past.
Right. My, you're a tall
Hello
guy.
there, Sla. I am known as Chronormo, but you may call me Chromie. I am comfortable with such familiarity. Now, how did I know your name, you ask? I'm one of the Bronze Dragonflight, forever attuned to the ebb and flow of time. You could say that we've met before. To that end, we will also meet again. The annals of Darrowshire tell how the villains of that battle. It tells how the Ghoul Lord Horgus the Ravager was destroyed by the Alliance forces during the battle. He was slain amongst the foothills north of here, and his skull remains there. Mardu the Black was never defeated, but his fabled sword now rusts, ownerless. It can be found near the road to our southeast. Retrieve these items, Salah. I know not why, but I am certain their fate lies with you.
Alrighty then.
The heroes of Darrowshire. The heroes of Darrowshire held relics of their own. Inside those relics lie more precious memories. First, speak with Carlin and obtain the extended annals of Darrowshire. Within the tome lies the narrative that will drive our excursion through time. Then, you will need to head west to the Maris Stead. The former owner of the Maris farmhouse collected relics from the Battle of Darrowshire. For what reason, I am not certain. Gather these relics and return to me.
Goodbye for now.
I require a rare reagent from a powerful spell I intend to cast. Skulls from the Scourge who took part in the Battle of Darrowshire. Take this crystal and hunt Scourge champions for their skulls. The crystal is enchanted. If a champion took part in the battle, when you pass the crystal over their skull, it will resonate. Bring those resonating skulls. Go, Salah. You will find Scourge champions in the Fungal Val to the north. Go.
Be seeing you.
Can I help you?
We have witnessed terrible tragedies, but we must not let them drag us to despair. Instead, hold to the memories close, that one day we might find a reckoning. Carlin, do you have the extended annals of Darrowshire? Why, yes. Does Chromie need it? I suppose she would. Yes, you may have it. Feel free to leaf through the pages. Inside you will find the history of Darrowshire and the details of the events that led to the death of so many men.
See you around.
How long is this? 11 pages. So I'm actually going to read this and then end the video. And then I'm going to do this video in two parts. In the second part, we'll finish up dealing with the Red Paths. The Annals of Darrowshire. Darrowshire, named for the Darrowmere Lake to its west. It's a village tucked into the southern foothills of Lordaeron. Known for the humble yet hard-working residents, Darrowshire stayed in the background of Lordaeron's history until the Second War. Heroes were made during that war, and heroes were lost. The Battle of Darrowshire. The Battle of Darrowshire took place in the middle of the Second War, when Scourge forces rampaged across Lordaeron. Darrowshire was cut off from the bulk of Alliance forces, but the town was bolstered by a company of troops, a contingent of paladins of the Silver Hand, and a staunch group of local militia led by a captain, Joseph Redpath. The Scourge's first assault on Darrowshire were sparse. Small groups of marauding skeletons and corpses wandered the outskirts of the village, and were easily defeated, but the Scourge sensed the defenders' tenacity, and responded in kind. Soon after the first wave of attackers, a second wave emerged. Champion ghouls, servants of the Ghoul Lord Horgus, screamed down from the hills and clashed with the beleaguered Darrowshire defenders. The defenders weakened, but were relieved by paladins, disciples of the Silver Hand. Their leader, Davil Croakford, was a native of Darrowshire. He brought his followers to the village when he heard of an impending attack, and together with the defenders they held back the servants of Horgus. When Horgus himself entered the battle, he met with Davil. But many minutes they fought, and Davil eventually prevailed, but he suffered a mortal wound and died soon after defeating the Ghoul Lord. The battle continued, and Captain Redpath led his militia bravely, and it might have been won had the captain not been corrupted by the Black Knight Marduk the Black. In the middle of the fray, Marduk rose up to Redpath, and with black magic he tore loose Redpath's spirit, twisting it into an evil shadow of the brave captain. The The corrupted Captain Redpath then spread his evil taint amongst the defenders of Darrowshire, who betrayed their allies and slaughtered them. They then turned on the town of Darrowshire and killed all who hid in their homes. The remaining Scourge army, along with the corrupted spirit of Captain Redpath, then left the ravaged village of Darrowshire and tore into Lordaeron, adding to the pain and death of the Second War. The fate of Horgus the Ravager. Horgus the Ravager fell at the Battle of Darrowshire, but the evil within him was not fully spent. The victorious Scourge forces removed his skull from the Battle of Darrowshire, carrying it with them to sow dread among the living they faced. Days after, the company of the Scourge who possessed the hand were defeated by Silver-Hand Paladins. Horgus's head was cast into Blackwood Lake. The fate of Marduk the Black. Marduk survived the Second War, causing great death and suffering with his foul rune-laden blade. Although Marduk still lived, his sword was lost in a battle near Corin's Crossing. A dwarf captain shattered the sword on his enchanted shield, forcing Marduk to flee the field, winning the day for the Alliance. Marduk's sword sank into the earth and corrupted it, eating a gorge into the land now known as the Infectus Scar. The fate of Davil Lightfire. Davil Lightfire died at the Battle of Darrowshire, but his bravery inspired the Alliance throughout the war. His book, his Paladin's Librum, was recovered by Scarlet Crusade troops. It now resides in the town hall of the Scarlet Crusade-controlled Hearthglen, often read by crusaders eager to draw from Davil's strength. The fate of Joseph Redpath. Joseph Redpath was killed during the Battle of Darrowshire. His spirit was corrupted and took new shape, and this creature spread great evil in Lordaeron. At Garen's Withering, east of the Anderhall, the corrupted Redpath was finally defeated by the Alliance forces. His shield still rests in the barn of the plagued farmstead. The Scourge minions are still drawn to the memory of his evil. The fate of Carlin Redpath. Brother to Captain Joseph Redpath, Carlin fled during the Battle of Darrowshire. Although terribly wounded, he was not slain. Days after the battle, agents of the Argent Dawn found Carlin wandering weak from thirst and fear near Corin's Crossing. They tended his wounds and brought him to Lighthouse Chapel. Grateful for their charity, Carlin joined the ranks of the Argent Dawn and now fights a battle of revenge against the Scourge. Alright, so, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, we're going to head to this farm and over here and get the stuff we need to basically make amends in the suffering of Joseph and Pamela Redpath. But for the record, you know how I named all those weird places? We had to go, like go into Hearthglen or Garen's Withering and all that. You used to have to go get each individual piece from all those places to do this quest. They made it much easier and much less involved. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join me for the next.